Past 2 or 3 years of gaming have been pretty great, world-shattering even. I mean, you've got Elden Ring, which introduced a lot of people to the Souls-like genre. We got Tekken 8, which introduced a lot of people to the fighting game genre. We got Baldur's Gate 3, which introduced the world to Dungeons and Dragons and turn-based video games. Then we got Spider-Man 2. We got Cyberpunk 2077, which keeps getting better and better with time. We got Metaphor. We got the Dead Space remake, and so many other great games just to drain your wallet. But according to these dudes, we didn't. Every game is infected with the woke mind virus. I missed when video games were good. Get DEI out of my games.
More like DEI rewards.
We need pretty women in video games.
It will fail because the game developers understand that.
Every game is trying to brainwash you because it kills you. DEI psychopath. I don't know that woke online for free.
If you haven't seen these conversations or you're a little lost, don't worry, because I will explain everything. Hey, beautiful people of the world, hope you are doing well. You know who it is, it's DatOnePanda. And get ready to roll one up, because today we're going to be talking about grifters. Why are you screaming?
I don't know. I just feel like I should scream.
You should be scared. Grifters are a very dangerous species. If we don't do something about them now, the world as we know it will come to an end. What are grifters? Grifters are a very peculiar species who are known for being lonely, fishless, and unclean. Only found on the internet. These creatures spend their day fighting a one-sided culture war that some may say is in their head, by contriving lies and complaining about different forms of media getting infected by wokeism.
Grifters, by definition, is a person who engages in petty or small-scale swindling. Basically, someone who gets money by tricking people. In the specific context of video game social media, it seems like grifters don't just trick others, but also trick themselves into believing whatever misrepresentation of the truth or whatever lie they make in their heads. They're illusioning themselves into bigotry. And hey, a little delusion can be fine at times. A little delusion don't hurt nobody. Like, yeah, little bro, she hasn't texted you back in 2 days, but don't worry, don't crash out. She's definitely gonna still text you back after you showed her your rare Pokemon and Bakugan collection. And damn, bro, is that a Hitmonchan EX? God damn, I didn't know you had motion like that. But delusion into racism and misogyny and this overall bigotry is something completely different. And it's weird that this is what they choose to delusion themselves with, rather than fun video game topics like Kingdom Hearts 4 releasing in 2025. Let me show you what I mean.
Hot take. Video games are supposed to be fun, not lecture about why being white man is bad.
Then Mighty Keith responded, "This is a 100% genuine question for me. What video game does this?" And then a couple people responded to Mighty Keith's quote retweet, "Last of Us 2 question mark?" He responds, "I don't even think the word white was said in the whole 20 hours of playtime. Tubby anime operator, sounds disingenuous to me, unless you really can't put 2 plus 2 together. I doubt that though." The entire tweet looks modeled for replies. No genuine conversation. Then Mighty Keith responded, "And yet you have not provided any answer or genuine conversation to the topic. Last of Us 2, the game for cast that is 90% white, created by a white man, and is about zombies, is somehow anti-white and somehow. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, this man saw Ellie shoot a zombie's head off and was like, stop! Are you trying to tell me that white people are bad? Are you trying to tell me that white people suck? You racist pig! And it's like, oh my god, you think like this. Hold on, I got another one though. Then you get Civilization series? Mighty Keith, but you can conquer as anyone. You don't have to be white. If you don't know, the Civ games are a turn-based strategy game where you choose what historical leader from different civilizations you want to be, and you go head-to-head to other players, expanding your empire and getting new technologies, developing your culture as your civilization goes through and develops over the years. It's literally a historical game that also doesn't mention anything about race. This dude saw that you could play as an African leader, and I was like, no, that's wrong! No! But do you see what I mean about delusion? Like, they will force themselves to hate a game for things that are not in the game. Back in April, PlayStation AU posted happy birthday to our beautiful Aloy. Just, you know, little cute marketing post, little cute post. Who could possibly get mad at a game studio for saying happy birthday to their beloved character? I want you to look at this picture and guess why people will get mad at this picture. You know, just look at it for a while, you know, investigate a little bit. Why could someone be mad at this? I'll wait. Done? Could you guess? It's because she's ugly. Well, according to them. Beautiful Aloy, you made her a fat, ugly beast compared to the real life model. This man created or found an edited picture of Aloy's face and got angry about it. like creating a spooky Halloween costume or doing a little shadow puppet and then screaming. Like, man scared himself. This looks nothing like the original post. Like, what are we talking about? Our rounded face causes this much uproar? Go outside. Why is her face so fat? Happy birthday, Aloy, with an edited image of this, I think he's a YouTuber, with her face on it. No offense, and she's supposed to be looking like some man right here. Like, goddamn, you must be Mr. Fantastic for all that reaching. And it's like, Aloy looks like a normal woman, like a regular normal woman. But let's say they did make her face fatter, or they did make her face more round. How does that impact you? And how does that impact the gameplay? How does that impact your life? And another thing, the dudes posting this stuff, post a picture of yourself in your room, actually. Niggas be glued to their bed with their sweat and cum growing on the floor. Yet, you want to talk about women not looking up to par? Nigga, have you touched a woman? Like, have you ever seen a woman in real life even? These are the same type of niggas that buy Stellar Blade just to go into photo mode and stare at her butt. This is how you play the game. Ooh, I get to see her butt. the pixels on her ass. So yummy. Speaking of Stellar Blade, look at this tweet Harada, the creator of Tekken, got mentioned on. A tweet comparing Korean games versus Japanese games with a screenshot of an article that says, Bandai Namco localization team admits ordered Japanese devs to censor their female character designs. We tell them that the cleavage is a bit too exposed, or the skirt is a bit too short. First off, no way you can read this article and think this is real, but the creator of Tekken responded and said, huh? I myself have never heard of these names, and the designs are all based on our own decisions. That is also clear if you read the original article and look at Tekken 8. We may weigh the community's standards against what we want to express, but we don't base our standards on following or not following anything specific. Imagine being so fucking stupid that the creator of Tekken himself has to call you out on your stupidity. Besides that, you saw a screenshot of a random article and you believed it. Just from how it looks and how stupid the title is alone, I would not have believed it. This is crazy that people actually believe this stuff. A little side thing here, while I was searching for the article, I did find a Reddit thread of people talking about it, and oh my god, I found the incel mouth breather hideout. And if you go through the Reddit thread, it's just post after post of them being scared of women and woke stuff and DEI and all of that. It's so fucking crazy to me. It's like very scary. This is my favorite post right here, by the way. Non-woke book series. I'm not sure where else to ask this, so here it goes. My spouse and I are on the hunt for a new sci-fi or fantasy book series. We're looking for stories that focus on great world building, engaging characters, and solid storytelling without being overly influenced by modern social agendas. It feels like many book series we come across these days prioritize messaging over narrative. We have zero interest in the DEI nonsense being pushed. Any suggestions? Do they not realize most sci-fi media is a discussion about the current state of the world? Every sci-fi book or movie you're gonna watch is woke. How do you not realize this? But anyways, let's continue. I'm getting off topic.
Where did grifters come from? Throughout the millenniums, grifters have always existed, but they skulked around the dark trenches of the world. Wanting to discuss their disdain for the gays, but afraid of the backlash, they were recluded to the sewers, in the shadows, expressing their bad takes with one another. But now, the vermin have multiplied too great, too fast for them to be unnoticed. They now have the numbers, and the large community they developed is now out of the shadows, the spotlight on them. For years, we've been hearing a little scurry of the grifters as they weren't so prominent. But now they seem to be at every corner of the internet. Some may say this is in part due to Elon Musk, who bought Twitter and has allowed hate to run rampant on their platform. Regardless, this is an infestation.
Grifters are like the rats of the gaming space, and I don't say that lightly, considering this man Asmund Gold seems to be running a hostel for them. Like how cheese attracts rats, woke or progressive opinions or media bring out these creatures. But imagine the rats see the cheese, and it's like expensive premium cheese. And we all know rats like cheese, but instead of them eating it, they start ridiculing it. Like, y'all got Parmesan cheese now? Ew, see, y'all changing up everything. Your mozzarella cheese erasure, what the fuck? Everything is not how I used to remember it. Bring back mozzarella cheese, bruh. Or better yet, they could like the cheese, but then ridicule the trap that the cheese is on. Like, bruh, what the fuck? Y'all using a trap from Walmart? Bruh, nah, see, y'all speaking the Home Depot brand traps. I fucking hate this woke shit. Same cheese, different trap though. Same thing. Just like video games, amazing, groundbreaking video game, but it has a black person in it for 2 seconds and they come out of the woodworks to hate on it. Like, nigga, don't you like video games? Don't you like this cheese? This is your thing. You're a nerd. You like video games. What the fuck is the problem? Parmesan cheese wasn't a thing when I was little. Home Depot traps wasn't a thing when I was little or whatever. What happened to cheddar cheese? Y'all are racing cheddar cheese. This is DEI cheese. DEI cheese. Do y'all remember when gamers were screaming at Ubisoft to please give them an Assassin's Creed in Japan? Especially after Tsushima, I saw discussions like, damn, if Ubisoft just made an Assassin's Creed in Japan, it would sell so well. We want an Assassin's Creed game in this setting. And then he did. Hooray! Oh my god, Ubisoft W, let's go! Wait, is that a black person in my video game? No! Ubisoft got woke! If you did not know, Assassin's Creed is a video game series that has multiple games, different locations and time periods, and they're coming off a new game releasing in 2025 called Assassin's Creed Shadows, and it's set in Japan. As I was watching the announcement trailer for the game back in May, and Yasuke came onto the screen, I was like, oh no. They're coming. The insos are coming. Close the gates. Close the gates. These dudes are mad that a real person who lived in Japan is in a game based in Japan. You could not see any discourse about this game without a dude being like, actually, he was never actually a samurai. Yasuke was actually a retainer. Like, all of a sudden, all of you niggas are experts in Japanese history. All right, it's a new day. I got myself some tea. Let's look at my favorite Twitter interactions about this game. These people would literally jump through hoops to complain that black person's in the game. It's insane. Hater Supreme posted, why does it matter? None of the protagonists in Assassin's Creed are real or authentic, and Assassin's Creed is not historically accurate. Then Mr. Sombrero responded, each protagonist was from the place where the setting was, LMAO. But hey, when they decide to do an Africa Assassin's Creed, let's have a white man be the main character. But hope y'all don't riot. And then Hater Supreme responds, and Yasuke was a real person that lived in Japan, stay mad. Then this random guy responds, he wasn't there very long, and that matters how. It's so funny because, like, are we saying that the person has to be there for a certain amount of time for them to be in an Assassin's Creed game? Also, hope y'all definitely see that the riot thing is showing how racist they are. Like, why do they jump to rioting? Isn't that kind of strange? Isn't that kind of tingle your little racism detector? Like, ooh, I think you're racist. And to get to this point, there are two things they need to ignore. That one, Assassin's Creed is a fictional game. In no way, shape, or form does Assassin's Creed say it's historically accurate. And then the second thing, let's completely ignore all the whitewashing that happens in American media when it portrays Japan. We get it in video games, we get it in movies, we get it in TV shows, but as soon as there's a black man in Japan, they all want to come out and be like, hey, actually, this is not historically accurate. Why is there a black man in Japan? Isn't that kind of weird? Instead of going to the gameplay mechanics and all the other stuff, they were focused on the black man being the main character. And what adds even a further layer to this conversation is that multiple Japanese people have came forth and have said that, have expressed to these mouth breathers that they're excited for Yasuke to be in this game. Apparently a lot of Japanese people like Yasuke and like his whole lore. So I don't understand the problem. It's so fucking weird. It's the people were being like, actually, he wasn't a samurai. Actually, he was this, blah, blah. They're trying to educate Japanese people on their own history. This TikTok video of the Japanese woman perfectly explains this whole situation.
英語では胡椒が retainer に訳されてるってことなんですかね。ちょっとごめんなさい。日本人なんでわかんないんですけど。とりあえず辞書引いとく。安家の位に関する記述って残っていなくって、胡椒あるいは武士のどちらかだと思われてるんですよね。どっちも侍です。ありがとうございました。
And if you're still like, I mean, it would be cool if we could get a Japanese MC. Maybe that's why they're complaining. They do have a Japanese character in the game. They do have a Japanese main character. You play as two characters in the game. You play as Yasuke, and the other one's a Japanese woman who's what's it called? A Konoichi. Hopefully I'm not mispronouncing it. But you get to play as two main characters through the story. So how could it not get more Japanese than that, and having a real person that was in Japan and creating their own Japanese character for the game as well? But they want to ignore that because newsflash, ding ding ding, they hate women. And like, there's no other reason why I can say that's mad, because it's really confusing, because they know there's a woman in this game. If you watch the trailer, it's not like it's hidden. It's like right there. It's right in front of you. So they completely ignore the Japanese person just to hate on the fact that they have to play as a black person. When you have a serious conversation about a certain demographic trying to gatekeep Japan, is kind of weird. But I mean, these losers still have Ghost of Tsushima 2, right? I mean, the first one was well loved. This is what we wanted Assassin's Creed to be. So I mean, once Ghost of Tsushima 2 comes out, we should all be in support because there's no forced inclusion in the game, right? Ghost of Tsushima sequel stars a Japanese woman samurai warrior because of course it does. They can't help themselves until every franchise that was built on masculinity is replaced by women. Ghost of Yotai is hopefully a smaller spin-off game, but if this is true, the sequel and this is the new main character over Jin Sakai. Fuck that. So sick of the forced girl boss narrative, man. The forced girl boss narrative. Women inclusion. Ew, women are so stupid. Women can't be leaders. Ew, every time my mom tells me to clean my room, I spit in her face. Because how dare you tell me what to do? You don't know what I need to do. You're a woman. You can't lead me. How dare? Are you guys starting to see a pattern here? Are you guys starting to put it together? Don't put black people in Japan because they don't belong. Japanese women in Japan? Actually, I don't like that either. And it's so sad because since the voice actor of Ghost of Tsushima 2, the main character of Ghost of Tsushima 2 got announced, she's being attacked for no reason, just for having a job. I saw on Twitter they were attacking her for having defund the police values and apparently being part of the LGBT community. Apparently she's trans. I didn't look into her sexuality because it's none of my business, frankly. Like I don't care if my voice actor or actor is gay or bisexual or trans. It has no effect on me because regardless of how she feels about herself and as she goes into sexual relationships, that does not impact the way I consume media and how well she performs her role and does her job. And honestly, I think she will do great in this role. She voice acted in many forms of media that I did not know she voice acted in, that I consumed. She did a great voice in Valkyrie in Apex Legends. She was in Justice League Crisis on Earth, and I love that fucking movie. But people are stupid as fuck and won't realize her talent just because she has certain opinions. Like, look at this unverifiable claim on Twitter. Is this true? The boy star Karen Fukuhara auditioned for the role of Atsu in Ghost of Yotai and was refused? Probably because she isn't DEI enough. Like, yeah, they totally ask you for how woke you are on job applications. Have these people ever had a job in their life? The first question that interviewed, like, so how woke on a scale of 1 to 10 would you say you are? Like, can trans people not have jobs? Then can they not get employed? If every time they get employed it's just because some DEI shit or some quote unquote wokeness shit, can they just not have jobs? Is that what you want to happen? Like, I don't understand. Like, what is the end goal? Like, what do you think is going to happen in your mind? It's almost like you want a certain demographic in your video games. Like, literally, how do you see a beautiful looking game, a gorgeous game, and Ghost of Tsushima 1 was amazing. I don't want to say Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Tsushima was amazing. So how did you get it in your head that this is somehow forced? Like, can we not have woman characters? I don't understand. But these guys are like so worried about looking gay. Like, they don't want to look gay like at all. So they like point out attributes or like nitpick certain things about like women in this video game characters that could be deemed or somehow deemed anti-masculine or gay. They want to quickly point it up for anybody else before someone's like, you think they're attractive? You're gay, which in turn kinda is gay because why are you so worried about what other niggas think? Like, it's not weird, just like who you like. This shit is so fucking weird to me. At the Game Awards, Naughty Dog announced a new upcoming sci-fi title, Intergalactic, and the trailer looked undoubtedly beautiful and left many questions about the game on Twitter. Let me show you some of the common questions I saw. Let's see, how will the combat be in the game? Will the ad placements be all over the game? Can you fly around in the ship? Why is the girl sipping their straw so masculine? Like, wait, how did I get in there? Nothing wrong with this character and the shaved hair, but the sassy slurping of the soft drink, it's just not for me, but for pubescent teenagers, which also is a target audience. Kevin Butler responds, That part was intentional. Just listen to the dialogue. Doesn't matter. It's just not my world. I like adult themed games and this ain't one. Our grand scheme responds, ah yes, adult games, famously free of any humor or personality whatsoever. That2 responds, slurping a soft drink is funny? Go for it. Also, if you call a saucy teenager a personality compared to adults stilled by life, I won't judge. Yeah, people watched the trailer, saw all the ad placements, saw the cool looking sword, saw the cool boss or enemy type, and the first thing they thought to themselves was, she is sipping that straw too masculine like. And I'm not joking. People are actually upset and angry about this. People are so insecure in the masculinity. It is insane. You think it's some type of pushing girl boss anti-man narrative. It's like, how did you get that? Like, I know back in primary school, they arm wrestled a girl in 3rd grade and they lost. And that trauma has not left them since. Nigga, go to therapy. Ask yourself why a woman could not give you instructions. God damn, get help.
Maybe it's just me, but I feel like the market for masculine, non-conventionally attractive female leads in games isn't as big as the video game industry thinks it is.
Is this what gamers want?
What exactly is the target audience?
What the video game industry thinks we want versus what we actually want. Then they're going so far to call the actual voice actor ugly. You guys are calling Jordan A. Moon ugly? What are we talking about here? And this is what I was saying. They were literally nitpick and point out everything about a woman to show to other guys that they are not gay. And it's like, okay, you don't need to be attracted to her, whatever. I don't need to know your opinion on her attractiveness, and it does not matter. How attractive she is to you does not matter. I don't play video games to fucking jack off. I don't. And it's so weird because this isn't like a created character. Jordan is a real person and you're calling her ugly. And that stuff is just so crazy to me. Imagine how she feels that all these comments are talking about her in this way. It's just so, it's kind of angering. Like, where is it making Asian washing or whitewashing her character to move her black features? And she's mixed, by the way. And this is weird. She's a real person. Don't remove her features because you're like, oh, she looks better fully Asian. Oh, she looks better white. That's weird. Is that not weird to anybody else?
That's all we needed. A dyke in outer space.
How do you know her sexual preference?
Because the game director said it.
Dislike it is fine, but straight up making things people didn't say isn't a good thing.
It's literally not made up. He made the main character they, them on purpose.
No, he didn't. And again, you can tell that these people just want to show that they're not gay in any way possible. Like, they don't want their fellow guy friend being like, oh, you're gay, because they were trying to say that this character in the game was gay, even though there was no reports of this being the case. Like, they made up a lie in their head just to be mad at it. And another example of this is the Witcher announcement in the Game Awards as well. The Axeman post, what do you mean you can't go into this? Are you for real? If you think this series is ugly, you might just be gay, dude. It's okay to be gay. Sean L responds, if you think that's attractive, you might actually be into dudes. But like you said, it's okay to be gay. I mean, at this point, you have to be wondering who was the first one coming up with these lies? Like, who's the first one pushing all these lies, these quote unquote anti-woke narratives? I mean, a cult has to be following somebody, right? Well, it's a little difficult to trace because there's so many of these vermin, but I can say there's definitely one prominent leader of this community and is one of the biggest perpetrators of outright lying to these people for whatever gain. And his name is
Grummz, otherwise known as Mark Edward Kern, is a 57-year-old man from Taiwan who formerly worked at Blizzard and was a former CEO of Red 5 Studios, the company behind failed MMO Firefall. Grummz was apparently an inept and a borderline abusive lead who also wasted valuable game development money on failed promotions, including a $3 million customized bus when Firefall was just in pre-alpha.
I wanted to talk about this nigga Grummz for so long. I have a visceral hate for the stupid, dumb ass, smelly ass, no bitches having ass, probably get extra mustard on his glizzy's ass nigga. You might be wondering, why do you hate him so much? Isn't he just like another one of those dummies you were showing screenshots of? Well, yes, but case number one, Buck around and find out. Sony is said to be increasing PS5 prices to make up for the 200 million Concord loss. Now let's read the title of the article together, shall we? Making up for the Concord loss. PS5 set to receive yet another price hike in Japan. Subtext. Gamers believe Concord's failure and losses might have pushed Sony to increase PlayStation 5 prices in Japan once again. But I just don't like him because he spouts easily unverified bullshit, but because he not only has a lot of reach, but he will fabricate evidence to push some agenda. It's one thing to make up whatever plot you have in your head and like to spout that shit on the internet for whatever reason, for just saying that you don't like the game, I hate this game, blah, blah, and this is why I hate the game. But to fabricate fake evidence and then post it for your little minions to scarf down the little anti-woke belly is insane. Do y'all remember the Dragon Age Velgar game? A game that had a lot of mixed reviews from his fan base, but some really liked it, some felt like it was mid or wasn't up to par with the other games. Yeah, Grummz took it upon himself to write like a Google Doc with fake guidelines for Dragon Age reviews and then post it for his fans to see. And the crazy thing is, the man left the cursor in the screenshot. Leak! Bioware and EA caught red-handed? Mr. Matty Plays agreement supposedly leaked. It wasn't a conspiracy theory, it was true. Return to form, our required phase. Content creation guidelines for Dragon Age Velgar leaked? If true, this confirms everything. There's so much more here. You cannot talk about woke. This is access journalism, this is bullcrap, and we have to tear the corrupt system all down. So let's read some of what Grummz says is the Dragon Age Velgar official review guidelines. Okay, let's see. Number 1, we wish to communicate through this product that people in the age group 25 to 34 know that this will be a formal return to the expected output of EA Bioware, as it once was, blah blah. She of this review program will agree to mention that Dragon Age is a return to form at Bioware. Okay, interesting. And then 2, EA is an equal opportunity employer who takes the values of diverse employee base seriously. You would also therefore agree to not instigate, berate, suggest, or mention that this game contains the following: male to female transgender characters, surgical scars, quote-unquote woke content, homoeroticism, racial positivity, DEI compliant features. Now, you reading this, well, like, I don't, and even without the little cursor in it, I still wouldn't believe it. But the fact that the cursor is in it and it just looks and was written stupid, and people still believe this dumbass shit is insane to me. It's really scary, really terrifying. Another A-level threat that does the same thing that Grummz does is a user called Endymon, I think that's how you pronounce his name, I don't really care, who wasn't on my radar before writing this video, but he very much does fan the flames, just like Grummz does. I talked to an Ubisoft insider about the current state of the industry, as well as another source which tells me places like CD Projekt Red and even Funcom, which is making Dune Awakening, are in dire trouble. And yes, we are officially in a game crash. Michael, CEO of CD Projekt Red, said, "Seems we live in times where anyone could record complete nonsense and make a story out of it. CDPR talent leaving? We have the lowest rotation of people in the recent years. DEI-driven recruitment? We hire based on merit and talent alone, just as we make games driven by artistic vision alone. Why do we choose Unreal Engine? Because it enables us to work on our games more efficiently and we remain cutting edge tech-wise. The Witcher 3 directors left? Well, yeah, more than 2 years ago. Now can we stop looking for conspiracy theories and go back to making cool stuff?" This man tried to act like he has some insider CD Projekt Red knowledge that no one else had. And then the joint CEO of CDPR, Michael Nowalski, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, had to come out and be like, "You're dumb as fuck." This is like when a dude at a party tries flexing on the girls and like starts acting like he has a bunch of money, just acting like he has emotions, being all out of pocket. And then their friend's like, "Bro, don't you live at your mama's house?" "Nigga, aren't you wearing my drawers?" "You spent $10 last week so you go get a Wendy's meal, bruh. You don't got no emotion at all." Shit is funny. This is the same exact situation.
Okay, so I know what grifters are. I know where they came from. I know who the biggest threats are. But how do we stop them exactly? And how dangerous are they?
The only way to stop the grifters is...
Actually, nah, I got this. I'm actually tired of talking about this, to be honest. I've been reading too much negativity and it's really draining, and I kind of want to rant right now because I believe what I'm about to talk about is important. What I'm about to say is important. I didn't know how many of these dudes were out there to the Sweet Baby Inc. controversy. If you're not in the loop, a couple months ago, these weirdos found out that there are consulting groups that help video game companies correctly portray people of color and women and other marginalized groups accurately. Sweet Baby Inc. is one of the largest ones, having worked on Spider-Man 2, Alan Wake, and other amazing games. But how much involvement they have actually had in those games are unknown. And we don't have to know. We should just be happy that these amazing games came out, and they came out with good portrayals of people that look like us. Well, some don't like that actually, and are actually trying to actively bring down games that use consulting groups, specifically Sweet Baby Inc. For example, when Tales of Kanzaro Zao came out, a game made by a Kenyan that is dedicated to his late father, a great game by the way, someone tweeted a Steam list of games that use Sweet Baby Inc. called the Great DEI Game Database. Yeah, that was the name. And if you have any common sense, you would understand the implications of this list and what may have happened after this list was made. Many games on this list were review bombed, and many creators received death threats, including the creator of the Zao game. And apparently a Sweet Baby Inc. employee told people to report the list and call these guys weirdos, rightfully so too. And many of the people who were a fan of this list or made it started crying, being like, oh my god, they're harassing me, and this is why the DEI people are bad, this is why woke is bad. And you'll see this a lot. Right-wingers like to call the left victims, or just progressive people victims, but will always position themselves in the position of being a victim. Like, you were upset that there were so many black people in your video games that you then made a list of these games and then harassed the creators, and when this list got taken down, you started crying. What? These grifters had a lot to say about Zao and went a whole smear campaign against the game and even the creator of the game. A lot of racist and heinous things were said, and the creator even said he got death threats. Like, imagine pouring your heart and soul and many hours into a game just for someone to add it to a stupid, dumb ass anti-woke list, and now you're receiving death threats. It's very frustrating because people of color, women, LGBT, and other marginalized groups can create communities and resources so we feel safe and so we feel heard and so we feel included and so we can create media that we would want to consume, because so much media did not have us in mind for so long. But then these little rats would like slither their way into any safe space we find, and we just open it up for an attack. And it's very sad. Like, you were never going to play Zao, so why would you create all this turmoil around this game, and just a game that you were never going to care about anything? Just let us enjoy the game, please. Just let us enjoy it in peace. And what I see some people do on Twitter is that they try to walk a line of being moderate, trying to give these dudes the benefit of the doubt, but they're bad people, plain and simple. They don't want anyone in the game that doesn't pander to them because they see it as a threat. They see it as a eraser for whatever reason. This is a dangerous way of thinking, and this should not be accepted or ignored for any reason, because this directly affects the audience and the people behind the games. I've seen multiple people in the industry get increased hate over the years. I mean, we see it with the Ghost of Yote actor, we've seen it with the Zao creator, and we've seen it with the Intergalactic actor, and we're even seeing it with the developers. Dale Walker made a post about how he's worked on many video games, saying, "This spring marked my 10th physical disc title as a game artist, anticipating adding Suicide Squad and The Last of Us Online once they are ready." And then he quote retweeted that tweet, saying, "Apparently someone's been reaching out to people from various game studios to verify I really worked on these games and ensure I'm not a fraud. Keep going, buddy." Because they can't even stand allowing black people or other marginalized groups to touch their video games because they're just too scared they won't get their Stellar Blade looking character anymore. This is scary. Imagine people calling your work just because you work there, nothing else. You didn't say anything controversial, you didn't say anything dangerous, you didn't break the contract, but people are looking for you because you're black. And there is literally no justification of this behavior. I can only see them doing this because they don't believe a black person can make games, or to believe the black person would somehow want to push any weird agenda they have against the game. Like how they tried to push Concord failing because it was too woke or whatever. Now imagine how this affects the audience. Imagine being a woman and seeing people complain online that a character is a woman. Do you think that would make women feel more comfortable telling y'all they like video games? This would actually make them shy away from video games, to be honest. This all hurts the conversations around video games. I want to talk about the gameplay. I want to talk about the art. I want to talk about the graphics. Because the red-pilled loser niggas are flooding the space, it's hard to actually see genuine criticisms or conversations about the games I enjoy or want to play. These people don't have any touch with reality, and because they're so loud and vocal, they're making the rest of us lose touch with reality as well, because I can't see real people online anymore. And what's crazy is that women have been telling us this for years, have been sounding the alarm off for years. Because a woman would tell a nigga that she likes games or she likes anime, and he would instantly start quizzing her about what's your favorite game, what's your favorite anime. Ooh, I bet you only play like Animal Crossing or The Sims. Oh, I bet you only like Fruits Basket. Like, bro, shut up. The irony is that nerds at one point were like ostracized from society. Like if you play games, if you watch anime, you were kind of considered lame, even though that's kind of really wasn't the case, kind of case by case basis. But either way, but now it's more widely accepted and more accessible, and more people are into it. The same group that was, called lame when they were younger, like when they were fucking 12 years old, or the same group that wants to push other people away from consuming the content that they enjoy. And I saw a tweet that really put this into perspective, that people who were called nerds are more evil than jocks. And the thing is, as a computer science major, I completely agree. They're completely right. I can't tell you the amount of times I ran into the most misogynistic or bigoted individuals in my classes when I was in school. And it's like, you look at them and you're like, how did you get this way? Like, they're so upset they can't find a girlfriend that when a girl shows up with similar interests, they're like, no, you're a slut. Only I can be into anime and video games. Get your whore hands off the controller. Like, bro, I thought we wanted more people to be into what we are into. And I think there needs to be a distinction between nerds, because a lot of nerds have never interacted with women or people from other backgrounds, not because they are nerds, but because they are socially inept or just bigoted individuals in general, versus the people who are nerds who are able to have normal conversations because they have interacted with different people or just have common sense and just not fucking insane. You see this divide in the way that they have exposed themselves for not having media literacy. So many right-wing nerds have outed themselves for not knowing the context of their favorite movies, TV shows, or video games. Like, I've seen them use things like The Matrix or Attack on Titan or Fullmetal Alchemist, or use video games like Mass Effect or The Witcher to justify their maybe white supremacist values. And it's like, how did you consume this media and still not understand the underlying themes of it? It's because you lack comprehension skills and you haven't experienced anything for real. That's why people didn't fuck with you in high school. Not because you were Naruto-ing down the hallways, but because you weren't a good person. Okay, but enough of the dooming. How do we fix this problem? We clearly cannot have a normal conversation with these dudes and to try to bring them back to reality, because as you see in the Twitter conversations, they clearly do not want to. Well, we need to reduce the amount this community can grow. And this is the responsibility of the gamers and the people in the industry. What do I mean? Well, let's first talk about the responsibility of the gamers. I have seen for far too long that people will ignore these grifters when they come across their timeline. And you don't have to address them every time you see them, but as often as you can will help greatly, especially if you're a creator of a large following. Not to convince the grifter that their viewpoints are wrong, but to show people that may follow you or other people that how stupid these grifters' arguments are. A lot of people that use social media are really impressionable, especially teenagers. So if the only thing they see is right-wing incel propaganda, they might start believing into it no matter how stupid the argument is. But if they see a sensible person from time to time call out their lies and for rhetoric, then maybe they will start to, wake up or whatever. I've seen far too many big creators on Twitch, on YouTube, and other social media platforms have these weird people in their community and they don't say anything. And as a creator, I feel like you need to recognize the impact and influence you have, especially if you're a white male creator, because people who watch you look up to you. I see these fans will go into their Twitch chat and say some dumb misogynistic shit, and the creator doesn't even address it or be like, hey guys, if you think like this, I don't fuck with you. And why did I emphasize white male creators? Because as you can see, a lot of these grifters are mainly white men who feel like they are being erased. And as a black dude, I can't convince them that's not the case, but because they think I'm the one doing the erasing. But as a white man, you can call them out on their stupid shit. And I've seen so many do so, I just wish there were more. But let me not put the strain of it just on white creators, because I have seen some coons come to the grifters' defense. Like, why would you say this? I really hate talking about this. I really fucking do. But white people aren't excluding black people and people of color from geek culture. Nerd geek culture has never systematically pushed minorities out. It's insane to think it has. It's very anecdotal, but I've been pushed out of geek nerd culture by other black people and never once by some white dudes online. Because growing up, there was an actual risk of physical violence. I'm not gonna read the rest of this. Like, nigga, get therapy. That shit was in elementary school that you got bullied by black people or whatever. And maybe it's because you went to a primarily black school or other stuff like that. But dude, if you told any black kid back in middle school or whatever, that you watched Dragon Ball, you played Dragon Ball, bro, instant friendship. So I don't even know what you're talking about. This is a very case by case basis, and it made no sense providing this anecdotal piece of crap evidence at all. Like, it didn't make any sense. So yeah, I'm gonna need some black creators to step up and to realize that the mission of fair and equal enjoyment of media still needs to be accomplished. And this is where I transition to my industry argument, because this dude says something easily verifiably false. And I myself took it upon me to read so many articles on gaming and racism and how it has been in the space for so long and how prevalent it is, because the industry is literally built on bigotry. Not just ignoring the multiple CEOs of gaming companies who have been found out to be weird. Ahem, Blizzard CEO, I'm looking at you. But how the gaming industry as a whole is built on pandering to bigots, because that is where the money is. For example, we were getting advertisements for years that were portraying that women don't like video games and that video games are somehow a substitute for women. For example, there was this ad in like the late 90s that had a gamer's girlfriend locked in the closet as he was playing Tomb Raider with Lara Croft. Is that not kind of weird to y'all? So for a while, we were just getting video games centered around the male gaze. But once you get a normal looking woman character, these incels don't know how to handle it. Like, wait, I don't need to goon over every video game character I play? What? The woman character has more than 2 lines? That's insane. Fun fact, this is partially because women programmers were edged out of the industry a long time ago. At one point, they were mainly the programmers. It was a woman-dominated field. And then men pushed them out because they saw that the career had a lot of mobility and whatnot. It's a very interesting read. I'm putting that article in the description as well. Very interesting read. So then now you get women playing video games more and being in the spaces more. But now they're subject to death threats and rape threats when they speak on the mic or do bad in the game. Or even the voice actors are getting death threats. And the video game companies are silent. Xbox is silent. PlayStation is silent. Naughty Dog is silent. They have not come out and supported the numerous voice actors or employees who are targeted for harassment. Someone said that a lot of men, I saw this online, this is pretty interesting opinion that I saw, but they said that a lot of nerds lack masculinity in certain areas and are ostracized from society because they don't have those certain traditional men values. But instead of being like, hey, these social constructs suck, they take their anger out on women instead, because they really try to dominate the tech space because that's seemed as like a male space, and they don't want to take away any little masculinity they may have. Is so weird. It's just a bunch of insecure men who won't stick up for women in a lot of these fields. And I'm a comp sci major, and I see this. I saw this in my class. I saw this in my jobs. This is a real thing. Game companies are too silent. In Right-Wing Extremism in Mainstream Games, a review of literature, research article by Garrison Wells, they state that even games like Far Cry 5, designed to critique right-wing radical trends in modern politics, may have helped these groups by depicting them as inept and ineffective, rather than outright condemning their beliefs. Such white-centric perspectives in mainstream commercial games may normalize and soft-sell right-wing extremist views to millions of players. So it's also on the game companies to not only promote and create adequate and fair representation of different demographics, but to also speak out against hate effectively. And I will bring that up later again. Then we have Steam. Steam has many neo-Nazi right-wing groups and communities that are just able to exist on their platform. Then you pair that with the many racist games they're just allowed to exist on their store. But Steam knows this. Do not be fooled. They're very aware that these groups do exist and that these players exist on their platform. But they will not speak out about them or condemn them because of money, and it is sad. I highly recommend everyone read the articles again about these topics I'll leave in the description, because they show way more examples of these groups and all the hateful stuff that these groups have done and have said, and they promote, and they show more about how the video game companies in general don't do enough to speak out about hatred and all of that, and how it's kind of deeply rooted in their environment. I really, again, encourage y'all to read these articles. They're very, very good reads. So how do we alleviate this issue? What do game companies need to do to help this from spreading, help to contain this anti-woke DEI virus or whatever is going on? For one, Steam needs to take down the vast amount of hate and bigoted groups that are allowed to exist on their platform and provide clear and concise rules for hate speech. That is not hard to do. 2, they also need to do better about allowing racist games to just appear on their platform. Maybe do a more rigorous review of the games you allow on your platform, because from the outside looking in, as a consumer, looks like you all didn't even review the games that you guys are allowing to be for sale on your platform. Just look at the title, look at the game content. It's not that hard. It doesn't even seem like you guys did a glance at the games. And then 3, game companies need to speak out when their audience is getting attacked. Don't allow users to say whatever they want on voice chat, whatever they want on text chat. Speak out when your employees or voice actors are getting attacked online, and keep using consulting groups. Do not back down. Do not coward. Just keep using consulting groups. Keep doing what you're doing. And finally, don't be afraid to tackle certain issues in your video game narrative. I didn't play Far Cry 5, but I did not play it because I knew I would be heated if there was some type of sympathetic thing going on with the like terrorists or whatever that was in the game, or there was some type of like, I don't know, they weren't like really heavy on them, and it seems like that was what they did. Like we weren't as heavy as they could be on these type of cult-like people. Don't back down. Don't be afraid to go after these people or show that like, for example, religious cults are not the greatest or anything like that. Don't be afraid of hurting these sensitive gamers' opinions, because in reality, they will freak out regardless. Y'all saw Assassin's Creed and how they freaked out. So either way, they're going to freak out if you go hard one way or you just stay in the middle. So speak out about these weirdos. And to be honest, I actually don't know how to end this video, because at first this video is supposed to be a little fun video of me just clowning on these dudes. Supposed to be me just joking around, being like, look at the favorite tweets of 2024 that I saw of how these dudes just freaking out about like stupid shit and all of that. But as I was recording and as I was writing and as I was researching more and more about how extremism is allowed or so prominent in the gaming space, I kind of just got more angry or just more concerned about the future. I don't want this to be the future of gaming, where anytime a new game gets announced, all I see are just people talking about, oh no, they put a woman in the game, blah, blah, blah. I want to talk about real gaming stuff. I was interested in Dragon Age Veilguard at first, to be honest. But because the only thing I saw were the anti-woke bullshit crowd, I completely lost interest in the game. Not because of the game being not what I thought it was, or the gameplay being not what I thought it was, or anything like that. It just put a bad taste in my mouth, because I just kept seeing this hate for these games, and no amount of muting on my timeline erase these people. They're on my TikTok, they're on my Twitter, they're on my Instagram. I can't not get rid of them. It's very frustrating. And granted, I might go back and try Dragon Age Veilguard again, but like, I want to talk about video games. I want to talk about the gameplay. I want to talk about little Easter eggs in games. I want to talk about all this stuff. But these dudes are so prominent on my timeline, and they're just expanding. It's only getting worse. Don't think it's getting better, because it's not. These grifters have millions of followers. They're getting more followers every day. And it is sad to see how prominent these people are in the industry. But I digress. Just please do your research. Please educate your peers around you, because it is very scary times in the gaming space right now. I just want to play games. Gamers just want to play games. And these people that don't even play games, these people don't play games. Before I leave off on this is why I hate the dude Grummz so much, and other of these grifters. Wukong was one of these grifters' holy grail of video games. Of like, oh, they didn't put no DEI bullshit into the game, blah blah, and then boom, it turns out Grummz didn't even play Wukong. Stellar Blade was kind of the same way. For some reason, they paraded Stellar Blade as being the game because the girl had a fat ass or whatever. Turns out Stellar Blade didn't even sell that well. Granted, Stellar Blade is not a bad game, but the people that were parading Stellar Blade as the game didn't even put hours into the game like that. So it's like, these people don't play games. These are the same people that sit online on Steam and only play CSGO and Arma. Those are those people. And I know if you have an image of your head of the people talking about only play CSGO, Arma, maybe Rainbow or something like that, you know, those military simulator games, those cop simulator games or whatever. Those are the only type of people that like play the, I don't say only type of people. I like CSGO sometimes. I like Rainbow Six, but they only play those games. They don't play any other type of games. They're the other end of the NBA, 2K, and Call of Duty niggas. So we gotta do something about this. We have to in 2025. Please call out these stupid people. Please do so. Okay, now here's the real outro. I'm so sorry about that long-winded rant. It's like 1 a.m. and I'm tired. But I don't know. Hope you guys have a good 2025. I'm sorry, I'm kind of out of it. Hope you guys have a good 2025. Hope you guys have a good happy new year. Hope you guys accomplish all the things you guys want to accomplish this year. Hope you guys can accomplish all the goals. Many blessings. Please be healthy. Just be safe out there. And please subscribe. Please comment your opinions. I really like hearing y'all's opinions. I'm a big opinion dude. I love interacting with y'all in the comments. That's like the main reason I started making videos. I like to voice my opinion and talk to other people about their opinion. I like conversation, and I feel like that's not like a common thing that's going on right now. I mean, as you can see in this video, conversation is not really happening like that. People just hating on people just to hate, or not listening to both sides. I like getting different perspectives and different point of views and different like, oh, I didn't think about this. I love that. So if you're new to this video, new to the channel, I mean, please comment. Just give me your opinion, what your thoughts are and everything like that. I would really appreciate it. But yeah, please like, please share, please comment, and just have a good 2025. More videos to come. I'm going to try to upload at least 2 videos a month, just to try to build this. That's my goal for 2025. Please leave your goal for 2025 in the comments. What do you guys plan to do this year? I would really love to hear it, and I really love to hear y'all's opinion on this whole topic. All right, thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a nice one. Peace.